Picture this. It's a Tuesday morning, you're driving to work, just listening to the radio, and suddenly, boom, that little orange check engine light illuminates on your dashboard. Now, most of us wouldn't just slap a piece of duct tape over it and hope for the best, right? We know that ignoring it means a much more expensive, probably catastrophic breakdown later on, and yet, when it comes to our own minds, we tape over the warning lights literally every single day. Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going to calmly walk through how to treat our mental health with the exact same proactive care we give our physical bodies and, yeah, even our cars.
So let's look at a daily life example. Imagine coming home after just a relentless day. Your inbox has been a total disaster zone of endless emails, your patience is practically at zero, and the second you walk through the front door, the whole household just feels incredibly tense. You snap at a totally innocent question from your partner, or you find yourself completely overwhelmed by a minor inconvenience like dropping your keys. That sudden, intense flash of irritation, well, that right there is your mind's check engine light flashing right at you.
But what do we usually do? We brush it off. We look at the endless emails, the unusually short tempers, the totally broken sleep, and we just write them off as, just another stressful week. We tell ourselves, man, I just need to get through to Friday. But instead of recognizing these things as critical signals that we actually need a mental tune-up, we just push the engine harder and harder. Which brings us to Section 1, Breaking the Therapy Myth.
There is this massive myth in our society that therapy is only for a severe mental health crisis, or if you have some official clinical diagnoses. But the reality? You absolutely do not need to hit rock bottom to get some help. It is fundamentally a proactive tool for self-development and managing everyday stress way before the engine actually starts smoking.
Psychotherapist Yuko Napoda really hits the nail on the head here. She points out that becoming aware of our own hidden patterns of thinking is just a highly effective tool for becoming the person you actually want to be. It's about personal development. When we identify these unconscious patterns, we stop operating on autopilot. We start making conscious, intentional choices about our reactions.
Now, I know you might be thinking, hey, can't I just grab a coffee and vent to my best buddy? And look, while venting to a trusted friend is incredibly comforting and absolutely necessary for a good life, professional counseling provides something entirely different. It gives you trained, impartial objectivity and evidence-based techniques that a friend, who might be distracted or have their own biases, simply can't offer. Basically, your friends are your passengers, but a professional counselor, they are the trained mechanic. So let's pop the hood for Section 2, Rewiring Your Emotional Brain.
Deep inside your brain is the limbic system. Think of it as the unconscious, primitive engine of our emotions, learning, and memory. It runs constantly in the background, driving our immediate emotional reactions before we're even consciously aware of them. When you snapped at your partner after that long day of emails, yeah, that was the limbic system firing on all cylinders, completely bypassing your logical brain.
What therapy does is essentially rewire a faulty fuse. It bridges that biological gap by using deliberate language and reflection to connect that primitive emotional engine directly to your logical, conscious brain, the cortex. You're literally integrating your raw, unconscious feelings with conscious thought. This creates new narratives and allows for much, much better real-world decision-making.
All right, Section 3, the cost of waiting.
Let's talk about what happens when we ignore those dashboard lights, especially in our relationships. Dr. James Tobin's research reveals a pretty heartbreaking pattern. Couples wait an average of 6 years before seeking help. 6 years! They delay action by normalizing chronic stress, blaming the nonstop pressures of high-demand careers, or pointing to exhausting parenting demands and financial strain. They wait until the resentment is so deeply entrenched that fixing it feels almost impossible.
But here is the highly encouraging news, and it's a number you should definitely remember: 70%. Approximately 70% of couples report meaningful, lasting improvement following evidence-based couples therapy. The process actually works, and the clinical data completely backs it up.
And this perfectly illustrates why timing is just so critical. If you wait too long, you're fighting against entrenched resentment, chronic emotional distance, and a huge loss of trust. However, early intervention, it's incredibly effective because you still maintain that emotional engagement. It prevents the chronic emotional withdrawal that makes repairing a relationship so much harder down the road. Basically, treating the issue early saves the engine.
A successful therapeutic intervention doesn't just teach you surface-level communication tricks either. It completely shifts your foundational emotional patterns. It moves you from a posture of attack into genuine curiosity. It shifts defensiveness into true accountability. And it transforms emotional withdrawal into active, safe engagement. You literally stop having the exact same argument over and over again.
Moving on to Section 4, Building Everyday Resilience. So how does a counselor actually guide you through this? Well, it follows a highly structured, scientifically backed process. First, establishing a safe foundation of rapport and trust. Then, a thorough assessment and goal setting, so you know exactly what you're working towards. From there, you move into exploring your underlying triggers, and finally, getting equipped with real cognitive behavioral techniques to confidently regulate your emotions in real time. It's not just talking, guys. You are actively training.
And interestingly enough, this deliberate mental maintenance directly upgrades your physical machinery as well. By managing your stress and rewiring those neural pathways, you can actually see improved and deeper sleep patterns, lower overall blood pressure, and even a strengthened immune system. Your mind and your body are the exact same vehicle, so caring for one inherently protects the other.
As the experts at the University of North Dakota highlight, psychological distress isn't as visibly obvious as a broken leg. You can't put a cast on a feeling of emotional numbness or burnout. And this is exactly why paying attention to those subtle, early signs of distress is so vital. You have to be the one continuously checking your own dashboard. So, the most provocative thought I want to leave you with today is to really consider your own habits. Are you going to continue waiting for a crisis, waiting for the engine to totally fail on the side of the road, or will you finally start treating your mind with the proactive, everyday maintenance it truly deserves? You have the tools, and the benefits will literally touch every single aspect of your life.
Thanks for watching this explainer. If you found this breakdown helpful and want to keep prioritizing your mental maintenance, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. See you in the next one.